Welcome everybody to another edition of High School Game Day, and it is live from the Campus Academy Fall Festival happening right behind us. It's Thrift and Richard Holdridge. It's Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Man, can you believe it? It's the final week of the regular season for football. I cannot believe we've already got here. 12 weeks of excellent football, over 40 games we broadcasted on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Just an excellent season, Richard.
Wow. Well, it is the final week for all the schools in our area, and we do have playoffs tonight for one school in the GIAA. Next week, we start the playoffs in Alabama, and all the schools that were affected by Hurricane Helene are going to have makeup games next week. The official playoffs for the GHSA won't start until November 15th. So all the schools that have completed their season is going to get an extra bye.
Well, last night I was live with Chris Gates from Otis Spencer Stadium. Hardaway and Spencer. Spencer's pretty much already solidified before that game, coming in 6-3, Richard. But Hardaway, who technically is in the playoffs in a lot of these unofficial ratings that have came out, unofficial rankings, but they needed to win last night. It was 18-0 at halftime. Started the second half, Spencer had a kickoff return for a touchdown, Brunson, and then the unthinkable happened. Hardaway came all the way back and had the football deep in Hardaway territory the last 3 minutes of the game, and then had a turnover on downs. Elijah Fudge and the offense ran out the clock, and the final score was 25-20. What a game. Enjoyed calling it. Bobby Gary, sophomore quarterback, he is sensational. And even if Hardaway doesn't make the playoffs at 4-6 this year, Coach McKenzie is one of my coaches of the year.
I think Hardaway needed a game like this. You're down 25-0. It's easy just to give up. But they came all the way back to cut it to 25-20, and they had the ball with a chance to win with a touchdown. I still think Hardaway's in the playoffs. You know, they had the latest rankings, and just based off of the new format for playoffs in 3A and below, that the two teams are going to have automatic qualifiers, and then there's 16 teams that are at large pool. And based off your strength of schedule and how you are rated amongst the public schools in 2A, I think Hardaway is still in the playoffs.
Oh, so you still have them making it, which
Absolutely.
I would hope that happens. And if it does, 5 teams, Richard, from this region, Shaw, Carver, Spencer, Sumter County, and Hardaway, are all going to be in the mix for making a deep playoff run. Shaw defeated Jordan. They finished 5-5. Again, I think they pretty much solidified their chance of making the playoffs this year. A one-game improvement from last year's 4-6 season for Coach Johnny Gardner. Great season for the Raiders, and congratulations to them on winning to go to 5-5 on the season.
Just an offensive explosion once again. They beat Kendrick 60-0 last week. They beat Jordan 54-0 this week. I know that Coach Garner has got to feel excited that Hardaway is going, or Shaw is going into the playoffs with a lot of momentum. Aaron Grant, what can you say about him? He's a special dual threat quarterback. Jamar Williams, outstanding running back. They got Kingsley Long at the receiver position. Sincere Ford is anchoring that defense. I think that Coach Garner trying to get Shaw back to Shaw U, and I think the step in the right direction is to make the playoffs once again.
I completely agree with that. Tonight, Central of Carrollton comes to Northside. Northside eliminated from the playoffs. They're 5-4, but they can play upset alert and spoiler if they're able to take down Central of Carrollton. We'll pick that later on. By the way, we're having for the first time an on-air appearance as our guest picker, Brandon Swobel, one of the producers. So Chris Gates, he did a little bit of play-by-play last night until I got there doing trick-or-treating duty.
Yeah,
so we've had Chris Gates. Toygar, he refuses to come on camera. Can't get him. We'll be utilizing Bain this year for sure, especially when soccer season comes around. But I was like, you know what, Brandon? You deserve it. You've been keeping up with it. You've broadcasted and streamed over, I don't know, football game-wise, 10 to 12 for all the sports he's done the last couple of months. Plenty. Glad to have him on for the first time,
Absolutely.
and I can't wait for him to ruffle some feathers tonight.
And I want to say something about Brandon and Bain. They are both on-air talents. I've been watching them on Fountain City FC. They do an amazing job. So we don't have just producers. We have on-air talents as well.
All right, so like I said, 3 games, and we got 2 games we're doing tonight. 7:30, Pacelli is hosting Mount DeSales, first round, 7 seed Pacelli, 10 seed Mount DeSales. Winner will go to the 2-seed Bullock Academy next Friday.
Right.
That is at 7:30 with Dave Plata and Rex Castillo on the call.
Oh, that's
and then
gonna be
Brandon
exciting.
Swobel and Bane Robinson. They'll be with Mike Peacock as Glenwood plays their final regular season game against Sylacauga. I didn't know much about Sylacauga coming into this year. Had to do a little research on them. But, of course, the one guy, other than you, that is a part of Georgia Alabama Sports Live that knows about Sylacauga and said he actually had family members that lived there, is Mike Peacock. And I'm like, Mike, there's not a city in Alabama you don't know. So, of course, we're going to put you on the call for this game, but looking forward to hear that. And then Rick Beach, we won't be able to get highlights and stuff because of other obligations from some of our producers like Chris Gates. We work the crap out of him. He has something going on with the mayor. But Rick is down there right now as Northside and Harris County play for the right to go to the state championship in softball 4A.
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't ask for a better matchup. I was actually down there the last 2 days. Northside and Harris County were both playing on opposite fields right at the same time at 3 o'clock yesterday. Eastside was playing Harris County, got in a little trouble. Eastside was up 3-0. Harris County was able to put 3 more runs up in the first. And you could hear the screams from Harris County. We were watching the north side. I was there with Coach Steve Smith, Jonathan Carrastor. We were all there just watching the north side take on Kell. That was a 1-1 game until L'Oreal Bird broke it open. And then, of course, we knew that Abby Lovell was going to pitch against the Kell. She pitched against St. Puis X in the first game. And I would not be shocked if she was pitching against Harris County tonight.
Yeah, well, again, that is happening right now. We'll try to get a score update as we
we
can.
will.
Here, live from the Campus Academy. It's their fall festival, annual fall festival, here at their new location, 4361 Weems Road.
Yep.
Open to the entire public from 5 to 8. We got trunk or treat. We got games. We got over 20 vendors. We even got an entire spooky building, not just house, an entire building
Haunted
dedicated
house.
to being
Wow.
haunted. So, without further ado, as Brandon's pointing it right now, you see the jumpy house. Right behind us also is a spooky house. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk more about what's happening tonight. I'm going to see if I can grab the director of the Campus Academy for a quick interview to talk about this fall festival, and then we're going to bring him on, the guest picker, Brandon Swobel, to end High School Game Day live from the Campus Academy right back after this.
My name is Quinteria Perry, and this is my CVCC story. I've graduated from CVCC with my associates in medical assistant, and I received my certification from CVCC. The training that I got from CVC and being prepared to come and do clinicals helped tremendously. I started looking at scholarships, and the Ambassador Scholarship was interesting to me because you did events to earn your scholarship and you meet people. My favorite part about my job is meeting patients every day. They will crack me up every day. They make my day better. I would recommend CVCC to anyone that asks because of the scholarships, the teachers, the small stuff that you can't get at a university. They actually take the time out for each student.
Football is back, and the only thing that makes it better is some delicious food from Zaxby's. They're a proud sponsor of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And I can tell you that everyone on this team loves their chicken. Get all the favorites, such as their signature chicken sandwich, or try the new chicken finger tacos with your favorite drink. From amazing salads, wings, chicken fingers, and some of the best drinks around, there isn't a better way to enjoy our broadcast without getting some fantastic meals from Zaxby's. Check out the two here in Phoenix City, one off Crawford Road and the other on US 80. Thank you again to Zaxby's for sponsoring Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and make sure you call them for all your catering and tailgating needs fall season. Welcome back, everyone, to the Campus Academy Fall Festival. It's High School Game Day live from here, and it's going on from 5 to 8 p.m., and I am with the director of the Campus Academy, Miss Natalie Vega. Thank you so much for joining us. What is your costume right now?
I am disgust from inside out.
Okay. I did not know that. Obviously, I don't keep up with a lot of Disney movies, but let's talk about the Fall Festival. Why is this such a big event for the Campus Academy?
It is such a big event because it is our biggest fundraiser that we have in the year. It's the only event that we have that's open to the public, so it's a good chance for the public to come, see the school, and see what we're all about.
How much does it cost to get in, and then what all is the Fall Festival entailing here today?
It's only $5 to get in. We only charge for children, so children 2 and up, it's $5. Adults are free. We do have a haunted house this year, so it is also $5 to get into the haunted house.
So that's separate than the $5 entry?
It is separate. So it's $5 to get in, and then if you want to go to the haunted house, then that is $5. But with your $5 entrance, we have a trunk or treat, we have vendors, we have dozens of games, we have a costume contest, we have, I think that's covered. We have food that is sold separately, but yeah.
Yep, and right behind us, like I said, the reason it's $5 because it's an entire haunted building, and I promise you, a lot of hard work went into it. You're going to want to go and check it out. We got Vendors Alley, over 20 vendors. We even got deep fried sweets right here. We got candles, so many of them. But what makes the Campus Academy so special? I have been here and been a part of it for the last 5 years, which is now going on 6 years. It's unique. It's a small school, but it's continuing to grow. What started the vision that you with Campus Academy back in 2019, and how excited are you about the future of the school?
So I founded the Campus Academy in 2019 with the idea to bring relationships back into education. It's a place where kids can come and they can feel comfortable. They can come to school and know that their teachers genuinely care about them. They care about not only that they make good grades, but they care about them as people. So when kids know that the adults in their lives are a safe space, then they can truly learn. And I'm excited for growth. So we just moved to this location in January of this year. And so this is a good way for us to raise some money, and we hope to build a playground.
And I have, again, enjoyed working here. I enjoy the kids. It's a lot of fun. And if you're interested in learning about becoming a Raven and being part of the Raven family, you can give a call at
706-325-8194.
And you can always schedule an appointment, and myself, Miss Vega, Miss Wright, somebody's going to give you a tour and see what it's like to be a part of the Campus Academy family. 5 to 8 p.m. is the Fall Festival. Any other final thoughts before we let you go, because we know you got to run. You got a lot of stuff to do.
No, I just hope you guys come on out.
All right, guys, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back after this. It's High School Game Day live from the Campus Academy Fall Festival.
My name is Quinteria Perry, and this is my CVCC story. I've graduated from CVCC with my associates in medical assistant, and I received my certification from CVCC. The training that I got from CVC and being prepared to come and do clinicals helped tremendously. I started looking at scholarships, and the Ambassador Scholarship was interesting to me because you did events to earn your scholarship and you meet people. My favorite part about my job is meeting patients every day. They will crack me up every day. They make my day better. I would recommend CVCC to anyone that asks because of the scholarships, the teachers, the small stuff that you can't get at a university. They actually take the time out for each student.
Football is back, and the only thing that makes it better is some delicious food from Zaxby's. They're a proud sponsor of Georgia-Alabama Sports Live. And I can tell you that everyone on this team loves their chicken. Get all the favorites, such as their signature chicken sandwich, or try the new chicken finger tacos with your favorite drink. From amazing salads, wings, chicken fingers, and some of the best drinks around, there isn't a better way to enjoy our broadcast without getting some fantastic meals from Zaxby's. Check out the two here in Phoenix City, one off Crawford Road and the other on US 80. Thank you again to Zaxby's for sponsoring Georgia-Alabama Sports Live, and make sure you call them for all your catering and tailgating needs this football season.
Bring us back.
What do you think about doing
All right.
a show live at Synovus Park?
Welcome back, everybody. As Bane, love my guy Bane, but for the first time this year and hopefully many more times. He is a resident hockey expert. He is a hell of a producer, and he is a big part of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. His name is Brandon Swobel. Brandon!
I'm at least one of those things you just said.
Dude, thank you so much.
I don't
for
know
joining us.
which one of the three, but I'm at least one of them.
This is how I know he was taking it seriously. Brandon had his hair combed, he had his shirt tucked in, and I'm like, all right, so I'm getting shirt tucked in, hair combed, Brandon. I know I'm about to get some serious picks, man, but thank you so much for being a part of our team, man. Can I be honest, and I want to ask this question before we really get into the picks. What was the reason why you wanted to get involved with Georgia Alabama Sports Live?
Just seeing someone in the community trying to do something that no one else was doing. Like, there's so many sports and so much going on in Columbus, and, you know, the news stations are limited to their 3-minute segment.
Right.
We're not. I mean, we're covering 3, 4, even pushing 5 high school football games every Friday.
Come on, man.
No one else is doing that. No one else could do that.
And it's because of guys like him, Bain, Toygar Isla, and Chris Gates. Any other things?
I do have a Brandon story. All right, 2022, you were working for Ignite Sports. You were working for the Columbus Chattahoots, and you were nice enough. And we knew each other from the days of the Rapids and when I was calling games for the Lions. You allowed me to, like, we hardly knew each other, but you allowed me to go up to the press box and hear Zach DeBozart call the Chattahoots game. You know, that meant a lot to me because I'm a huge baseball fan. And lo and behold, I got to actually call games.
What are you
for the
doing?
Columbus
Why didn't you
Chattahoots.
big time him?
Yeah.
Now
I
knowing
know.
Richard, you would have big time him. You would
Yeah.
have told him you're not coming up here.
Yeah.
No, can you imagine? Can you imagine? Who is this guy?
But I mean, just that shows how connected the sports community in Columbus is. Like,
and how small it is.
and how
too.
small it
But
is.
But
I
the
mean,
thing is, that meant so much to me. I appreciated you for doing that, and that's your character. And I just want to let you know that
thank you,
because
Richard.
of that, I mean, you're just awesome.
Thank
and
you.
we're glad that you're part of Georgia Alabama Sports
I'm
Live.
happy to be here.
All right, let's go ahead and let's talk about this, man. We got 5 games that we're going to be picking from, and I'm excited to hear who you're going to be ruffling. You're going to be upsetting somebody. And I tell you this, people watch this, okay?
Yeah.
People like our preview show. Noah Shelton, he hears it every time he does a coach show with Ryan Nelson because he said Glenwood was going 4-6 this year.
Oh boy.
They're 8-0.
And
So-
look at them 8-0.
And so Ryan says, we put your quote in the locker room as motivation. But first game we're going to pick is Central Carrollton taking on Northside. You actually went up to Central Carrollton when Harris County played them. What do you got, Brandon?
I did. 2 weeks ago, you know, me and Bain made the trip up to Carrollton to watch the Lions and the Tigers duke it out. And, you know, that one got away from Harris County. You know, shout out to Rick Beach with Kudzu Sports. We covered all 10 Harris County
All
games this
10.
year.
And you were at all of
Me and
them.
Bain did 7 of them.
Wow.
7 or 8.
Yeah.
But I'm taking Central Carrollton. They put Harris County to the test, and Harris County wiped the floor with Northside. I think Northside might have a chance at home, but I'm with Central Carroll.
Yeah, I'm maybe because Central Carroll loses this game. They technically already kind of clinched the 2 seed because they beat Jonesboro. Jonesboro plays Stars Mill. But right now, it's 1 Stars Mill, 2 Central Carroll, 3 Jonesboro, 4 Harris County. I'm going to go with you. I just think Central Carroll is a really good football team. If they took care of business against Harris County, Northside against physical teams, they struggled this year. I think they're going to go 5-5. Give me Central Carroll, even though I would love nothing more than an upset.
So I'm an analyst type of guy. I actually do a lot of research. Central Carrollton only lost to Stars Mill 23-20. Jonesboro's playing Stars Mill tonight. I don't think Jonesboro beats Stars Mill. So I think that this is really a meaningless game because Central Carrollton's got the 2 seed. Northside's not going to the playoffs. But I think that Central Carrollton is one of the top teams in
I thought you were
4A.
at least going to pick Northside with all that, Richard.
Look,
You were setting us up
I
to pick
love-
Central Carroll, man.
I love what Northside has done, but they have been in one of the toughest regions in the entire state, and that's a lot to ask.
Well, are you going to pick this next upset? The Carver Tigers are 8-1. They're the hottest team in our area. They're one of the top 3 teams in 2A, and they're my prohibitive favorite to win a state championship. Does Kendrick pull off the biggest upset in the last 30 years, or is this going to be over with by the end of the first quarter?
Look, when Del McGee played for Kendrick in the early 90s.
That was 30 years ago, Rich.
Look, Kendrick was a powerhouse before Carver was even a powerhouse, even though they had a lot of players in the NFL. This is an absolute mismatch. Carver, even though they've got they want to get the overall #1 seed. Because right now, Morgan County's playing Callaway. Morgan County in some polls are ranked #1. Pierce County in some polls are ranked #1. Carver is trying to get the overall #1 seed. I think Carver dominates because it's style points, because they're trying to win a state championship. I love what Coach Mayo's done at Kendrick, but this is a lot to ask. Kendrick lost 60-0 to Shaw last week, and I just think that, like what Carver did to Jordan, 66-6, I think that Carver rests a lot of their starters. They have a bye and they get ready for the playoffs.
I'm not going to be long. I'm just going to say it's over with by the end of the first quarter. Carver continues to dominate. They go to 9-1.
To quote Ed Ogeron, go Tigers.
Go Tigers!
There you go.
Another team that is coming in hot and having a hot quarterback. He's thrown through 9 touchdown passes last week, Brandon. I was there for that. They have 32 on the season, more than anyone in our area. And it's Russell County going on the road at Beauregard. This game really doesn't mean anything because they've already clinched the #2 seed, but Russell County would like to finish 8-2. Where are you going, Brandon?
I'm going with Russell County. They're putting up 40 points a game on average. Beauregard's only putting up 24. I think that high-powered Russell County offense goes up to Opelika and takes care of business.
Yeah, this is the best offense that we have in our area between them and Glenwood. But the way they score and how efficient they are, the Devin Brown, the receivers that are cat-like quickness and be able to catch passes and make people miss, and then of course the best, most beautiful deep ball passer we have, and Bryson Riggins. Give me Russell County too.
We have not been able to see Beauregard. I know they're in our area of coverage. The Beauregard Hornets, a 5A school. They've had one of the best running backs in the state, Ja'Cory Tarver. I mean, they've made the playoffs. But the last time Russell County faced Beauregard in Beauregard, they won. And Beauregard's a 5A school. Russell County, 7-2. Bryson Riggins has just shattered just about every record that Russell County owns. Give me the Russell County Warriors.
Okay. The 2 games that we are doing tonight, we'll first go with Sylacauga at Glenwood. I'll start with this one. Glenwood's finishing undefeated. That means in the last two regular seasons, they have not lost a game. They're going to win this game by 30 points. They're going to be hosting many playoff games. Unfortunately, because of the rule in the AHSAA, we will not be able to stream on Georgia Alabama Sports Live the Glenwood playoff run. We may be still streaming it, but it would be for the NFHS. I will let everyone know if we decided to do that. But again, we won't have it live on our platform. Unfortunately, that does not mean we won't get maybe a Carver if they later on down the line.
Right.
We're obviously going to get Brookstone next week. We'll get Pacelli this week, but because of the rule, we're not allowed to do that. But a big win for Glenwood tonight. Brandon, you're going to be there for this one. Where are you going?
You know, it pains me as a Georgia fan to even utter the words I'm about to say, but give me the Gators. I think Glenwood, you know, just taking the Valley game at itself, the first game of the year for Glenwood playing in the HSA,
Yeah.
it was electric. Like, even in the press box, it was electric. You know, Glenwood came back, battled back to win 21-20, whereas Sylacauga lost at home to Valley 26-7. Taking that game alone and the fact that Glenwood just ran over their rival in Lee Scott last week, they're riding that high, man. Give me the Gators.
Is that a prerequisite for maybe an upset
No,
Saturday night?
no, you won't get that one out of me.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's a good point.
He's talking about Georgia and Florida, which is
Yeah,
probably going to
yeah.
be another blowout for Georgia. Go ahead, Richard.
Glenwood's undefeated. I think that they're going to win this game. They're going to win it big going into the playoffs. We do know who they play at the Swamp. Hosting a playoff game, they are taking on Alabama Christian Academy, which is out of Montgomery. I actually have some ties to that school, so it's really kind of cool that they're playing Alabama Christian Academy.
Yeah, and I saw that that's happening again next week. All right, this was probably going where we were going to do game day if we didn't do it live from the Campus Academy Fall Festival. It was our only playoff game. Can you believe it? Playoffs already here, Brandon. You're going to be the final pick, so I'll start with you first, Richard. Pacelli, Mountain DeSales. Mountain DeSales beat Calvary 7-6 earlier in the year. They're not the best team. Pacelli, obviously, they get this win. They get to 500, and then they got a tough one on the road. I think they're going to take care of business and win this pretty handily.
Pacelli's battled injuries. That's why they're 4-5. But remember, this team beat First Presbyterian Day in week 3. A coach team by Dwight Jones in the playoffs is scary. Diamond Field is a great home field advantage. Give me the Pacelli Vikings.
Brandon, are you picking an upset, or does Pacelli take care of business and head to the second round?
Give me the Pacelli Vikings. I don't see them losing at home tonight. I think they're going to go next week, take on Bullock Academy, and I'd like to see them take on Brookstone again here in a couple weeks.
That's what I'm about to say,
Yeah,
man.
that's right.
So if this, and I'm glad you brought that up, Brandon, if they beat Bullock and Brookstone beats Stratford, we got Brookstone Pacelli, part 3, third straight year they're going to face off in the playoffs, but this time, instead of being at Pacelli, they would be at Brookstone. Well, from Brandon Swobel, Bane Robertson, Richard Holdridge, I'm Thrift and Richard saying, if you got time, we got still 2.5 to 3 hours left here at the Campus Academy Fall Festival, and then make sure to tune in at 7:30 Pacelli Mountain Cells and at 8 o'clock Glenwood Sylacauga. We'll see you next time on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
My name is Quinteria Perry, and this is my CVCC story. I've graduated from CVCC with my associates in medical assistant, and I received my certification from CVCC. The training that I got from CVC and being prepared to come and do clinicals helped tremendously. I started looking at scholarships, and the Ambassador Scholarship was interesting to me because you did events to earn your scholarship and you meet people. My favorite part about my job